Today on the Hunt Fish Shoot channel, we have a treat for you. 6mm ARC, developed by Hornady, has become all the rage. But that round itself has also turned into be quite the hunting round. It has a bunch of different weights, it has a ton of speed, and more importantly, it can be fired out of an AR platform rifle, not AR-10 style, so that's nice. But what do we have here? This is a Brenton USA Tracker 22. So this has a 22-inch barrel chambered in 6mm ARC. The barrel on here again is 22 inches. It is a 1 by 7.5 twist barrel. So actually it's a very fast twist rate, which is perfect for our 6 ARC ammunition. The ammunition we have on hand today, in particular, we're gonna be shooting Fort Scott's new Tumble Upon Impact 6mm ARC ammunition. They sent that out to us. Very happy they did so. And in general, if you're interested in anything from them, you can use a code HFS10 on their website. Saves you a few bucks. In addition to that, it can help out the channel for future videos and help supply us ammunition. The other ammo though, we would be remiss if we shot this gun and didn't use any Hornady stuff. So we have really everything Hornady makes for this thing basically. So we have Precision Hunter, we have the black, we have match, and then we have their all new V match, which I'm pretty excited to shoot as well. These ammos for us have obviously turned out to be very accurate in general, in 6.5, 308, 300 Win Mag, 300 PRC, 7 PRC, name it, they're accurate. So excited to see that stuff. But let's get into the rifle because that's what this is really about. Brenton USA builds these rifles in Michigan. They are built at a, let's say basically a custom pace. So they're not a high production rifle. They build these things to be a very accurate hunting rifle. So this rifle itself is built for hunting and precision. So what you have again is that 22-inch barrel. Then you have this handguard on here, which has texturing up here, much like you would see on a hunting gun. But then it has M-LOK slots. They come with a pick rail there on the bottom, which also has a QD socket. I have my Atlas bipod mounted on there, and then they have another pick rail here in the back, which you could use for your tripod. Going into the rest of the rifle, you see it obviously has a fixed stock. This is a full-size Magpul stock on here with the butt plate that comes off, QD sockets on there, and a rifle length buffer tube. Now what's nice about this too is it's very firm. The fitment on this rifle is very tight. It is not sloppy whatsoever. It is not a run-of-the-mill mil-spec rifle. They build these things to be more than that. They build them to be accurate. And more importantly, speaking of accuracy, they come with a SUB MOA accuracy guarantee, which most AR manufacturers will not do. Most AR manufacturers will not do that simply for the fact that it's very hard to make ARs consistently shoot SUB MOA. So they guarantee SUB MOA accuracy with match grade ammunition, which we have, and we're going to test that out today. I haven't shot this myself yet, so we'll break in the barrel with the procedures they prescribe and we'll see how it does. A couple of the other features, obviously you see that this thing has an absolutely fantastic and badass looking paint job on it. The color scheme on here looks really good and it is flat out immaculate. From anywhere from inside the QD cups here on the front to all the way in here on the trigger guard, it's nice. There's no overspray anywhere on this rifle. It's done very, very well. It has a nice, like, let's say almost like textured finish to it that feels nice because your hands won't slip. Obviously if you hunt, you know that those things can happen. The pick rail across the top is good, and then you have a charging handle on the back that's slightly larger than a standard mil-spec, and then you have a single-sided safety, which is fine because I don't need a bunch of safeties to catch up if you're in the woods. So standard 90-degree stuff there, it is textured, and then you have it in a large bolt paddle. The magazine release is enlarged too. And then, most importantly, is down here on the trigger, is it's an adjustable trigger that goes from 6 pounds to 3.5 pounds. It comes set from the factory at, well, let's just say, damn good. You know, I actually just picked up a Springfield Boundary rifle, and that came set from the factory with a trigger tech that felt like, I don't know. I mean, I don't know who's hunting with that sucker. All I can tell you is it's on the highest setting the trigger tech possibly allows with their field trigger. This thing, on the other hand, is, I mean, there's no creep. It's one of the finest AR triggers I've ever felt. And for a precision trigger on an AR, I think it's gonna be perfect. So that is good. Hoe grip on here, not a huge fan of those personally, but it does feel good on here and the overall fitment is great. Anything else on here, what I would say is it's pretty impressive to see a company build a rifle specifically for hunting. You know, they talk about how their chamber is designed, the barrels are made by them, it does have some fluting in there, and then your bolt carrier itself, As you see, you know, you have 8620 and 9310, which you would expect from mil-spec stuff. So good durability and all that, but then there's good slick coatings on here. So the bolt is very, very smooth. In addition to that, with this rifle is there's not that zipper sound that you get on lower end rifles. With that being said, it's an expensive rifle. Generally speaking, I like expensive shit. That's kind of pretty normal for me. Obviously, you know, like that Mitchell Defense SOIDC with the Proof Research barrel, that's a $3,000 rifle. This rifle is MSRP'd at $1995. However, it's not a mass production rifle. They build them to be accurate. So let's find out if it's accurate. Two things too I don't want to forget about before we get into actually, you know, shooting the gun. Their magazines that they ship with, they are 6-ARC specific. So what that means is that obviously 6-ARC can be hand loaded. It's very popular for hand loaders. And in general too, it means that they actually make these magazines only for 6-ARC. That's why they're actually stamped on there. So the rifle is built to fire 6-ARC with 6-ARC specific magazines that can also be loaded long, which is something you run into sometimes with magazines like this. On top of the 2 mags that you get that are specific to 6-ARC, you also get the Brenton case with it. So the case itself is nice. There's actual like Velcro holders for the rifle. It fits in here perfectly, and it's a very nice soft case that comes with the rifle. A point about that, some folks will say, oh, shouldn't it for that price? Yeah, it should. I mean, I bought an ADM a few months ago, and that rifle cost me almost $3,000, and it came in 2 cardboard boxes, in 2 pieces, which is just absolutely absurd. But this thing, obviously a nice case. Woo-wee, I think that's a good group. Looks like another 3-shot SUB MOA group. Yeah, it's identical almost. Guys, I mean, I could practically stop this video right now and be perfectly happy with how this rifle shoots. I've shot some of the Fort Scott just to get it zeroed, but the rifle right now is shooting 1/2 to 3/4 MOA with Hornady Precision Hunter and with the all-new Hornady V match. The V match actually shot better than the Hornady Precision Hunter. These are both hunting rounds, and a hunting rifle that's an AR platform shooting SUB MOA. And we're talking 1/2 to 3/4, not just like barely floating at the 1 inch. It's just, it's shooting really well. It shoots very soft, and 3 shots out of our gun with the Hornady Precision Hunter. See, they have 2,800 feet per second from Hornady, and the gun is actually shooting on our chronograph. 2788 is the average. It's just 3 shots. We'd probably have to shoot more to really get a good average, but overall, you're looking at 2788 as the average with a deviation that is like 0.2. Or I mean 2, so it's not really a whole lot. Overall, what that tells me too, you're getting good repeatable chamber pressures and good accuracy, which is likely why this rifle is translating on paper as being very accurate. Let's get into shooting another ammo here. The next one's gonna be Hornady Match. So Hornady Match so far doesn't shoot as well as the other 2, which the Match we're looking at 108 grain, you know, 80 grain, and then 103 grain. So the 108 grain out of it so far hasn't shot the best. Still not a bad group. It's about 1.5 inches. The gun itself, it's warming up a little bit, so we'll let it cool down before we shoot our last 2 groups. We've allowed cooling. It is a heavier profile barrel. We are doing 3-shot groups. This is a hunting rifle for me. Realistically, shooting more than 3 times at an animal, or you know, in a scenario like that, it's just not going to happen. But the rifle is also showing me that it can shoot 6 and still be accurate with little to no change. And I'm really impressed with how this thing shoots, because recently we shot 2 308 AR10s that both, you know, shot mediocre at best. And this thing shoots well above average. and actually more of an elite status. It shoots better than many different high-end, very reputable AR manufacturers in the mil-spec tactical world, and this thing is doing it better. And also very soft shooting. It doesn't really beat you up. Obviously has no muzzle brake, which I actually prefer for hunting, because muzzle brakes, they are very loud. Now, do I want them on large caliber rifles? Sure. The 6 ARC though, it does not beat you up. It's very soft. Really, the good thing is that somebody smaller stature, somebody younger, they could shoot this very easily. And this round is also shown to be very capable for coyotes and deer. Oh, thank God I shot that one, because I certainly pulled one of them. What would you say if I told you I just shot a group that is like 1/4 of an inch? It's incredible. It's literally incredible. One of the most impressive and accurate ARs I've shot in quite some time. Let's go take a look at that target. We just finished shooting this gun. The groups, they're very impressive. You're talking about a platform built to shoot 6 ARC, and this thing is shooting at bolt action like accuracy, which is what you usually don't see. So a lot of times is why when people ask me, would you use an AR for hunting? I'm always like, no, just use a bolt gun, because you're really never gonna shoot 3 rounds usually. And you gotta make that first shot count. With this gun, we'll look at the groups here. The first group up here, this is gonna be the Hornady V match. V match meaning their varmint round. You're looking at a 1/2 inch group. Okay, these are 1 inch circles for reference. The other one you have over here as another group, that's probably 3/4 of an inch, Hornady Precision Hunter. Down here at the bottom, this is gonna be Hornady match. Now this one here, I thought maybe I threw one, but it just appears that maybe that doesn't shoot that great in here. That is the heaviest bullet of all of them. That's 108 grain on that match bullet. But the 105s, the 103s, the 90 and the 80, it looks like they shoot great. Down here, this one here, I actually called that I pulled this shot and knew it right away. And actually that's a 3-shot group with Hornady Black, the cheapest ammo of all of them. Basically like in some way, shape or form, like a good quality plinking round, but shoots lights out. That's just an open tip match, no ELDX or nothing like that. So that bullet, you're looking at a group that's about 1/10 of an inch. So really, really good shooting rifle. And then up here, this is actually a 5-shot group with 1 round that I pulled. That's a 5-shot group from that Fort Scott tumble punt impact. So Fort Scott, obviously very accurate. Your Hornadys, no surprise, a caliber that was developed by Hornady is accurate, but to see Fort Scott do that is very impressive. And now to talk about this. So basically what we did here is I shot the black, okay, 4 rounds. I shot this, 5 rounds. All right, this is 5 rounds. And then we come over here, and Andrew, who hadn't shot the rifle yet, comes over here and shoots a group that is fringe 1 inch, okay? But mind you, this right here is that you're at like round count 15. And over here, this is at round count 20. So the gun has obviously gotten hot, which I did on purpose. What you've seen and what we're not getting is, although the group size opened up a little bit, which you can expect when a gun gets really hot, you're not getting heat deviation. So like the Fort Scott, for what it shot there, is still shot here. So it opened up a little bit, but you're not getting shot stringing or going left or right. They're still staying in a good overall group. So what that also tells me is if you wanted to run this gun and use it like a match rifle and shoot, 15 rounds on a stage, it will do so and will do it accurately. In addition to that, while we chronoed the rifle, it repeatedly shot numbers that are, let's say, correlate with what's on the box. So the box speeds is basically what this rifle was shooting for the most part, and that's great to see as well. I'm freaking impressed. Brenton USA knocked it out of the park with this rifle that I was moderately skeptical about, to be fair, just because a lot of times when companies are like, oh, we got this really accurate AR, PSA Saber, for instance. It wasn't. This thing though, it's a shooter. It is deadly accurate. And I would 100% take this into the field to hunt with. And more importantly, guys, Please, please let us know what you think of this gun. Let us know what you think of the video. And more important, let us know if you want to see more stuff from Brenton USA. They make some straight wall cartridge guns like 400 Legend, 450 Bushmaster, and 350 Legend for us in Ohio to hunt deer with that we're gonna have to get our hands on because this thing shoots great. But let us know what you think.